Meet Zoomlock, the 10-second flame-free refrigerant fitting from Parker. Reduce labor costs by 60% with no brazing, no flame, and no fire spotter. Discover how Zoomlock can help you be more efficient and productive. Visit Zoomlock.com for more information.
Guys, I'm sitting next to this American Standard heat pump right here. I'm going to hook up the Sporlan Pro R tool to it, and we're going to check it out with the Testo 770-3. John was having an issue that he was communicating with the listeners of our podcast about not reading the voltage properly. So I'm going to go ahead and run it through, use the 770-3, and we'll also check a little bit of distance on the Sporlan Smart Pro R. So let's get to work. We'll go ahead and hook it up down here. We're all boxed in right here with the trash and all sorts of stuff. So let's get to work. Go ahead and turn the Testo on to volts. Double check right here. We have what says AT alternating current right now. See if I can hang it on something. Well, we'll hang it right here. Alternating current. I'm going to test it. There's no voltage on the machine right now. I'm going to check those leads. We have 0 volts. It switches back and forth from DC. That's 2.7 volts DC. Switches to DC. Does the same thing. So with no voltage, it switches back to DC. Alright. I'm going to put on the Sporlan Smart Pro R tool. I'm going to put my gloves on first, as I always do. I use Gorilla gloves. Ralph Wolf turned me on to these. Ralph Wolf from T&N Services. Got the same page. See, we have our high pressure probe. We can put here or on the outside. I'll just put it on the outside so we get our reading right where we're doing a subcooling reading. Screw it right here. There we are. That's on there. Go ahead and put our other probe on. I can put the other probe on while we're running. We have our suction line temperature, which what I'll do is I'll just clamp it on with my clamp. We'll put it right here. We can put it on the true. I'll put it right here just in case we get any bleed through on the reversing valve. It gives us a nice tight fit on the line. And we'll have another one on the liquid line, which we can put anywhere along through here or on the outside. Put it right down there at the bottom. There we go. So make sure everything's making good contact, just like you would normally. We have our liquid pressure, suction pressure, or not suction pressure, suction line temperature. We have liquid line temperature, and I'll put the other probe on once we get going here, and I'll likely put it right here, even though we're in tight quarters. I might move that a little bit. I'm opening up the app. We'll see, we'll turn them on, see if they automatically, let's see here. See, they're coming on in there. Good. Hit this one. Can't see if there's any light on there. Yep. And we'll do it on the bottom. There we are. Down there on the bottom. Alright, we're going to fire this thing up, let it start going, and I'll get back with you guys. We do have our stuff right there. Testo 770-3. 10.6 amps on the compressor right there. Let's take it over to the outdoor fan. It says 0 amps DC on the outdoor fan. Alrighty. You know what, let's just leave that there and go grab the south wire meter and see what it says. We have a south wire meter clamped on the same wire, as you can see. 1.12 amps alternating current. And then we have 0.1 amps DC. Same wire. Let's try another low load. We'll try another wire going to the outdoor fan motor. We have the south wire here. We are clamped onto the brown wire going to the fan motor. We've got about 0.5 amp of starting current, or current on a start winding. Let's clamp on there, let's see. .0 volts DC. Maybe I'm missing something here, fellas, but this looks like an issue. Let's go into the voltage reading and see what we have. I'm at the Testo meter here again. I have it on the same wire, but as you see now, we have 1.2 amps. What happens is that if I select it manually with the select button, it shows up alternating current. But if I let it auto select, which is what it does when I put it on the compressor wire, then let's take a look at that. Yeah, DC. Let's turn it off. Turn it back on. As you see, we're on amps. DC. Now let's hook it on this wire up here. It goes automatically to alternating current because it senses the presence. There's our frequency up there. All right, great. It goes to DC. Now, I understand that we're going to have to switch it manually, but that's confusing and that's going to cause some issues right there, because we're not going to remember to do that crap every time. So that's a huge negative. So let's get into the voltage measurement, because John got shocked the other day. So we're going to see if there's an issue here with that. Got it on volts. It shows AC 0.01 volts. Okay. Groovy. We're going to let it dangle there. I'm going to get everything mounted up here. Let's see if I can do it with one hand. We have 244 volts, 60 hertz. That's just fine. No issues there. We didn't have to change anything or do anything, so that was right the first time. John had an issue where it showed 0 volts. So, kind of strange there. We'll get into more about the Testo meter. I'm going to take a look again at the Smart Pro R. We'll see how it's doing. We're looking here at the Smart Pro R. We have 16 degrees of superheat. We have 14.9 degrees of subcooling. Subcooling is just a little bit high. This machine's actually matched up with an ICP air handler that I installed a couple years ago, I think. 64 pounds on the low side, 202 on the high side. So let's get up and let's start moving and we'll see how far we can go. It's a big old building, so let's walk around front and see what we got here. We got our probes right there. You can see all the good stuff, making good contact. Those clamps, they help it make excellent contact. So that's a good thing about having to use the clamps. It's just another step, which has got a negative. But the positive is you're guaranteed to have good contact because you're going to fit them on there, pay close attention to it. So that's a good thing. I thought we talked with Dave Shanklin about this on our podcast on the Working Joes. And it does seem like it's geared toward refrigeration, the way it's set up. Doesn't mean you can't do it for HVAC, which is what I'm working on here. But it's definitely going to be really good for the guys who are doing refrigeration work. It's already set up to have those multiple superheats for your different evaporators. And just, you know, you can download the app. I mean, here's a look at the app right here. So just take a look at it. We're going to walk around here and see how far we can go. Pay no attention to the Amana unit. There's our American Standard on the other side. So let's get walking. We have a big building here. Goes a long way. I'm sure it's about 100 foot to the front. We'll walk. See, it's a nice day. Still got it. It's already beating the Testo probes in the original Smart Tool. Well, still got it. Oh, impressive. Stand here, make sure it's still recording. Changes in pressure. Oh, we lost one right there. Still got the other one. You can see them logging measurements. So let's see how far we are. So we're standing here. I walked back and got all of my measurements to reappear. Probably would have done it a little bit closer than that, or a little bit farther from the unit. But we're a long way from the unit. Probably a good, 75, 80 feet. So definitely an improvement over the previous Bluetooth. We'll do some more measurements. Let's go inside, take a measurement from at the thermostat, which is probably around 50 foot away through the walls. So we are inside. We're actually well beyond the thermostat. Looks like we are holding connection. So everywhere pretty much this system the reach of this system, which is going to be right below us in the crawl space, all the way to around this point right here, we can go all the way there and stay connected. So a pretty darn good Bluetooth connection. So go around the corner to the thermostat.
Those of us with dirty hands, blood stains intertwine, right away each morning to grind it out another time. The faces in the mirror, and not as young as they once were, but they're proud.